Hey, it's your old cousin Jack. There's a lot going on this week, so let's just jump right into it. We'll start with a story from Clint Rose. He has a YouTube channel called Clint Rose Carving. And this week he has one titled, How I Got My Art in a Museum. So it's an interesting story, and Clint walks you through all the emotions that he feels along the way. What happened when he contacted a local newspaper about maybe doing a story on him and some of his artwork. Well, that's how it began, and I'll let Clint explain to you all the steps along the way, including his desperation, his inspiration, cowardice, and eventual happiness. Clint does a really good job of telling the story. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. And if you're interested in selling carvings, doing commission work, that sort of thing, this is a really good story for you. I hope you enjoy it. All right, so over at Carving Fusion, Jordy Johnson is going to take us into our Talk About Tools segment for this week. So Jordy was contacted by a company that makes these little mini chainsaws. These things are very popular right now. There are a lot of them on the market. So this company said, hey, we'll send you this saw. All we want in return is for you to check it out. Do a little product review. And so Jordy does. Well, if you've watched any of Jordy's content, you know that Jordy's going to give his honest opinion, and he does, regarding this saw. This is called a Saker. This is a name brand. Mini chainsaw, 6-inch mini chainsaw. It's electric, and it's cordless, battery operated. Well, Jordy talks about the case, what comes with it, various extras that come along. There's a couple of extra chains and some tools inside the case, a couple of batteries. And then he decides to go ahead and try cutting some logs. So he gives you his opinion about the chainsaw, what he would use it for, and whether or not he would recommend it for carving. So check out Carving Fusion and see what Jordy has to say about the Saker mini chainsaw. While we're on the topic of tools, let's go to the Whittled Lovelies blog, where my friend Sarah has a new article about the Focuser brand knives. Now, like I said earlier, when you run a YouTube channel, you have companies that contact you and ask if they can send you things. I've received tools. Sometimes I've received emails from companies and I've said no, I was not interested. I had one that contacted me. I agreed to look at their product, do a review, and then they wanted to upload my video onto their Amazon site, and I said no. Well, I think most carvers, like Jordy and Sarah, will give you their honest opinion about what they think when they receive these free tools. So in the Focuser knives review, Sarah takes you through the materials that are used in making the blades on these knives, the material that's used for the handles, what she thinks about them, how they feel, how they cut. And she took some time to work on some carving projects with these knives. And she describes for you what her end results were. So make sure you check out Whittled Lovelies. It's a blog that she has. And in this blog article, she links to a video because she now has a YouTube channel as well. She also links to a previous article that she wrote about carving tools and selecting carving tools. So while you're there, make sure you subscribe to the Whittled Lovelies blog. Did you ever see that grumpy cat on the internet? You probably have. It's it was a cat that's now passed. Rest in peace, cat. A cat that had this grumpy look on his face all the time and became very popular in social media. Well, this week we have a video from a channel called Small Wooden Sculptures. Now this is a channel run by a Ukrainian carver, and there's a video, brand new, about how to carve a grumpy cat figure. In the video you'll see this carver take a branch from a linden tree and carve a little grumpy cat figure, walking through a step-by-step, sort of a tutorial on how to go ahead and carve this figure. Now there's no talking going on. One of the things that's really cool about the video is the setting. They're in a wilderness setting. is this beautiful stream. It's a very relaxing type of video to watch and entertaining as well. So if you want to carve a little grumpy cat figure, check out Small Wooden Sculptures. Next we have a video from a site called TayMarie. And the TayMarie site is run by a young woman named Taylor. Turns out that Taylor was a nurse. And then on her 25th birthday, someone gave her a small chainsaw. And she began carving with it. Well, she eventually quit her job as a nurse, and now she is a full-time chainsaw carver. In this video, we're going to see her carving a largemouth bass. She uses a variety of different tools along the way, including a blowtorch to add some color to the bass. Now, she lives in the state of Maine here in the U.S., and she has an ample supply of eastern white pine, which is great for carving, and that's what she's using in this example that she's doing. So make sure you check out TayMarie from Taylor, and I think you'll be pretty pleased with the end result of this largemouth bass carving. Looks great. Well, we have another video from Matt Carves. Matt lives in New Zealand, and this time he's going to talk us through a step-by-step and demonstrate how to carve a little gnome. This little figure that he's making is going to be a fridge magnet, and it is gnomish. It kind of looks like a little hillbilly to me. Anyway, Matt, as always, does a really good job of describing and explaining to you all the different bits that he's using with his power carving, because most of it's done with the Dremel. And there's an interesting way that he puts a finish on this carving. For the hat, he uses a blue colored wood dye. Really interesting. Has a good look to it. And then he applies some brie wood wax that has a dark tint, and that kind of takes care of the rest of the unfinished carving, and also adds a little bit of antiquing to the blue hat. So make sure you check it out. I think it's very interesting, and you should enjoy Matt Carves. We have a new video series from Gene Messer. Gene does a great job of providing tutorials and helping carvers learn. And of course, he is a master of the flat plane style of carving. In this series, Gene is doing sort of these acrobatic figures. And they're performing a lift with one figure on the bottom lifting another person on the top. And he shows you in this series a step-by-step process of going from a cutout that he made on his bandsaw to the finished painted carving. Gene also provides the pattern that he used for the cutout. So make sure you check it out. There's a new video uploaded on the International Association of Woodcarvers site. This time around, Chuck Ducky Shuck is the guest. And he's going to share a little bit about his journey from being a police officer to a woodcarver. And Ducky loves to get out and go to a lot of these woodcarving events. You may have seen him there at one or another. It's interesting, and you'll also get to see some of his carvings too. And next week, October 28th, the guest will be Ashton Brown from Badger State Blades. If you're interested in the knives that are produced by Badger State, make sure you're watching next Saturday on the 28th. Well, there's a new video from Ddalo, the South Korean carver, who does quite a few tutorials. This one is kind of an example of how to go from a block of wood to a roughed out shape of a small figure. It's a little different because there's no end result. And what I mean by that is it's a roughed out figure at the end of the tutorial. The details that you would normally see in one of Ddalo's tutorials aren't there. Now maybe they're going to be in a future follow-up part 2 video. I don't know, and there was no indication of whether or not that's the case. But I think this video kind of gives you an opportunity to take a block of wood and bring it down to a roughed out shape, and from there you could probably go in a lot of different directions, carving a variety of different figures. So it's good for that. So check out the new video. As always, I want to say how much I appreciate everyone's support. We're getting close to 500 subscribers, and fantastic. Thank you very much. Also, for all of you hitting that like button, I really, really appreciate that. It really helps the video to be seen by other carvers, and that's the goal. Thanks for coming along this week, and we'll see you next week.